Welcome to Retro Upgrade. This time we'll be looking at a flea market find I found. I paid €5 for this Xbox. Hi everyone, it's Carlos from the Retro Upgrade channel. Today we'll be looking at this Xbox here. I found it at the flea market. Got it for €5. No cables, no controllers, no nothing, but I do have one that's modded already at home with all the things I need to test it. It's in pretty good condition, I guess, for the age. It's a little dirty, a lot of stuff. It has some jizz on the front here. It's only on the left side, otherwise it looks nice. On the bottom we can see some damage here. They screwed through with something because it's like a small screw poking out. You see a few gouges. They have taken it apart, so this gives me the hope that it is modded. It's actually harder to find the unmodded one nowadays. Okay, let's look at the back. Doesn't look too bad here. No rust around the connector, that's really normal. It has the normal connector and the 220. Let's check for shorts on the main power rail. The guy at the flea market didn't know if it worked or not, so good for him. Probably doesn't, because they usually say that it's untested when it doesn't work. No shorts or a blown fuse. Either way, it won't blow up on me. You can still have a short on the low side. The power supply is built in on these. You don't need a big brick like the 360. It also came with one of these plugged in. It's a DVD controller thingy. You can do a lot of stuff with those. You can actually reset stuff. So I have a new setup here. I have a upscaler. It's a piece of crap upscaler, but it does upscale to HD. The power supply on this is a little flaky, so sorry if it disconnects when we're testing it. Okay, so first of all let's connect it to power. I have my cables over here. I found the video cable first. It has a proprietary connector. I don't have the component cables for this. That lets you output up till 1080i or 720p. That's really good actually for the age. It's the normal yellow, white, red. The upscaler I have takes a SCART cable. It takes RGB signals quite well. I don't know about composite video. Let's see. The power indicator shows that it has power. Let's check this out. Okay, and now power cable, normal figure 8 power cable. PlayStation had the same. Okay, let's see. There we go. Power. And of course I have a controller. I do have the behemoth controller that came with this thing as well. I have two of them, but they are so big for my hands. I prefer these ones. Okay, I hope the crusty stuff on the controller port doesn't indicate that it doesn't work. Okay, so let's turn it on. Okay, the light is on. A blinking, flashing light on the tray light. Let's see if you can see that. See? Let's switch on the capture. Let's see if it displays something. Okay, so it doesn't detect anything. Let's see. I'm changing the modes. 60, 50, nothing. Okay. Let's change between 180 in 720p, nothing, and the other one is just for checking pass through for HDMI. So this is not working. No video output. Let's move around the cables a bit, see if it's a bad connection. It's not. Oh, the power supply died for the upscaler. Okay, it's coming back on. Okay. This upscaler doesn't record sound if there is no picture. So let's test that. Let's see. Headphones. And 2 RCA to 1 3.5 jack. I think I have one here. I did. So I have one of these, a splitter box, and one of these cables that goes from these to this. So let's take the audio. Sometimes when people mod these consoles, they put in the wrong resolution or something and they can't start anymore, or they don't display a picture. Okay, so this is the inputs. Let's put it in the middle here. Okay, these look kind of crusty, but okay, now this is loose. Let's go for another one. That one snapped in nicely. Number 3. I'll put in the black and white and the red and red. Don't know if that's right, but then my headphones, they're wireless, but they do have a jack and they do work with low power signals. So let me restart the console and see if I can hear the boot up sound. I do. I hear the classic Xbox login. I'll put it on the microphone so you can hear it. Okay, so I'll turn it off again. Okay. Let's see if you hear it. So it is booting up. Let me see if I can hear anything. Nothing from the controller, at least at the moment. No pings, or maybe it crashes at boot. Oh no, I hear a sound now. I hear a clicking noise. That's not the normal menu noise. So it could be one of the... maybe the mod chip or something. The capture card died again. I have to get a new one, a better one. I think it's the power supply for the capture card, not the actual capture card. I'm aware that this capture card is not going to capture the Xbox in color for composite, because it doesn't support the output, but it does capture it in black and white, so we can see it. Okay, so I hear something, a clicking when I move them. Let's see if it has a CD inside. It does. Is this a game? So it looks like it's modded because it's a burnt CD. I don't know. These are names of movies, I'm guessing. Yeah, they're movies. It's not a game CD. The sounds I'm hearing are the same ones as in the menu, so no indication there. Let's reboot it without the CD inside or DVD inside and see what happens. Maybe that's crashing the system, who knows. Okay, I hear the boot up sound again. Okay, now let's see if... no, I'm back to that menu. Okay, so on these modded systems, sometimes you can get to the normal boot up by holding both buttons at the same time. Let's try that. There we go. It's fine if the tray opens. Let's see. No picture yet. Still the same strange noise from the menus. Let's try another strategy here. Starting it with the tray icon instead. The tray button. I'm looking for the normal menu sound. It's swishing, warping sound. Okay, so there's nothing there. Maybe it's holding in the power button. Sometimes it's holding in one of the controller pad buttons. Not always. I'm holding in the power button. Past the login. Okay. No, still some weird noise. It sounds like it goes infinitely. So it's not like the menu that has 3 options then stops, or 4, depending on the version. Okay, so we'll have to open it up and check what's wrong with it. Probably a mod chip that's set up incorrectly. I have had a few of these over the years. They set what's it called, the NTSC, and then the -J, that's Japan. So then you can't see it on normal TVs here. And I don't think even this can output the J variant of the signal through the connector like it is. This could be avoided with a component cable, the red, green and blue cables. But I don't have any, so let's see if we can fix it by flashing the maybe the BIOS chip or formatting the drive or something. Okay, let's get cracking. I'm recording. Yep. It sucks when you forget to push the record button. Professional YouTuber here. Okay, so there are 6 screws on these. These 2 that are exposed, and 4 more under the feet. They damaged the feet here last time they took them off. I usually use some hot air, 100 degrees C, or a hair dryer if I don't have a hot air station. Works fine. I'm just going to make some space here so I don't melt anything with the hot air. Okay, so I have it over here. I'll put it at 100. Nope, that was the power supply. SMD rework. It's at 250, so nope. Just wait. And that's about 100. Just take your time. I usually use some tweezers to pull it up. Hopefully you can hear me over the hot air. Okay, I'm not getting a good grip with these tweezers. They're not very good. And let's move around a bit. I don't want to damage the plastic too much. So 100 degrees C is not really super warm. It is enough for double-sided tape and stuff to start loosening. See? It's coming up really slowly. There we go. I have a corner up and just funnel in some air from a distance. Yeah, it is coming. And if you damage the tape underneath, it's no big worry. Just get double-sided tape and fix it. There we go. It's off. The double-sided tape stayed on the actual console, so that sucks a little bit, but yeah, I'm not professional at this yet. Especially the Xboxes. It's been like 7 years or so since I touched mine last. I have it fully modded, so I can do whatever I like with it. Unfortunately, I don't have time to play right now. I would love to, but especially my favorite game, that's Killer Instinct arcade version. You can actually get the arcade version of Killer Instinct running better on the Xbox original than you can on the 360. I don't know why that's the case, but the port is amazing. So it goes at 60 frames per second, it looks amazing, it's really fun. I remember my childhood admiring the people that did the 600 hit combos and stuff. It's really fun to watch at the arcades. Okay. So this one was a little more stubborn. Probably they used some kind of tape underneath. Okay, I removed that one. Last one here. So this is just to prevent to need to put too much force and crack or what's it called, damage the plastic too much. This is also handy to do with the Wii, GameCube. I think the GameCube. I can't really remember if it has rubber feet or not. And some other computers actually. There we go. So let's put the hot air back so it cools down. These are Think Star Allen keys. Okay. So I have my box of screws, a screwdriver. The screwdriver is missing. I don't know really where it went. So I'll be using my secondary screwdriver. That's one of these ratchet ones with the adapter that comes in the box. All the bits are here, so I don't know where the screwdriver went. But it'll turn up eventually. I do have a 4-year-old at home that takes stuff sometimes without telling me. This looks about right. So this was a 20 in size. Yep, that seems to fit. So let's go for the disassembly. Put it in the comments if you want to see me on camera. I can set up my cell phone as a webcam if needed. I'll be using it as a thermal camera. I bought a cell phone with a thermal camera built in from Richard from Learn Electronics Repair. He made me a good deal. I need a thermal camera and a phone at the same time, so it was really handy to buy that. It's a black view, something or other. Maybe we will use it on this Xbox, who knows. Don't think I'll need the thermal camera, but we could use it for fun. Okay, so these screws are really long. I didn't remember them being this big. I'm still a little worried about the screw that comes through the case on the bottom side from the inside. All these screws are the same length, it seems. So for doing a factory reset, if I can't see the screen, the only way I know of is actually to format the drive outside the Xbox and then reinserting it and doing the initialize step. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to see the screen still. So that sucks a little bit. Did I remove the CD from inside? Yes, I did. Okay, I found it here. Okay, let's take off the lid. Sorry for the bad angles if I forget the camera. I've set up my secondary screen that's over here, so I can see my script that I don't use and my recording. So I'm trying to get everything in frame here. Okay, so how do you actually remove this without breaking anything? Is it the top cover that comes off? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's coming. Just sticky from all the years not being opened. And I don't want to break it. If it's working and makes sound, usually they're not that hard to fix. Huh. So I can't really see anything else holding it together. Just old crud. Okay, so it let go on the front. Do I really need to use a spatula? Okay, so from this side. Let's see. Nope. But it let go on the front. I don't want to lift up unevenly because it makes it a lot harder to take it off. Okay, so I was pulling on the same thing I'm trying to get off. Is there another screw here? Can't remember there was. There we go. No, it's just really hard. It has the original shielding left, I'm guessing. There we go. Yep, it does, and it's a little bent out of shape. That's why it was hard to get out, especially that part. Okay. Okay, so it looks pretty clean. I don't see any cockroaches yet. So let's see what we can find here. The IDE drive is warm, that means it's spinning. It also makes sound, so I've kind of figured it would. Let's see. Then we need to remove this tray and this power cable right here. Let's see if I can remove this without obstructing the view too much. Wiggle out. It's a normal Molex connector. Okay, let's see if I can get these out over here. These are attached to a clip here on the side. Okay, I won't pull anymore. Let's remove the IDE cable. Are these the same size? They are not. So T10, let's see. That's what I was told. Is that correct? Yeah, it is. Oh. Sometimes it pays off to watch YouTube videos. So this should be magnetic, but obviously not. Okay, let's see if I can get the screw out without flinging it all the way away. There we go. Are there any others holding this down? Don't think so. Okay, so let's see if I can. Let's see if I can get the power adapter loose. Okay, that looks nice and clean actually. The board is extremely clean. Power supply could have high voltage. Be very careful, especially with those two capacitors. I won't be touching on that side. Okay, let's get the drive out. I don't think this is screwed down anywhere, right? Oh yeah, it is on the front. So down here, let's move this back. Down here, down here. So they made an indent in the shielding to get to the screws. Or do I really need to do that? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's the plastic feet from the DVD drive. So yeah, we need to. I haven't disassembled one of these in a very long time, so. The Xbox is actually the console that prompted me to start making YouTube videos. My old one, I disassembled it and fixed the, what's it called, the mod chip inside, because it was not correctly installed by the one I bought it from, and I ended up liking how it felt to fix it again. I've been fixing consoles a very long time, but I never thought of making videos. Okay, so this came out, goes over there, so that's fine. Let's remove the cable from the bottom here, from the DVD drive. It has a mod chip, I see it now. I don't know what kind that is, I don't really recognize it. What could that be? I know where the screw it got screwed right through the board, right here. Okay, let's remove that. Is it just modding the console, making contact, just squeezing it down? That's really weird. Normally it's soldered on these points right here. Okay, so let's see what revision of board we have. We have a fan, a bigger fan, no fan over here, no shroud. So there are different versions of this, and usually the way you guess what version you have, to look around on the chips and stuff and you get the version number. Some of the boards have the version number printed on it, but they stopped doing that because it made it too easy to hack them. Pretty much. Okay, so let's see, what size screw is that? Does this work? No, that's too big. Size 1, let's see. Size 1 would work. Okay, the ratchet mechanism just failed. Okay, it's back. Okay, let's see if I can. There we go. Okay, so I'm quite confused on how this is actually connected. Okay, it has a longer screw. It should be a shorter one. It has some kind of... Oh, okay. So it works... It has pogo pins. It works by putting pressure down. That's the first time I see this kind of install. That was interesting. So, okay. I don't know what make or model this is. It doesn't really say. It is a SST. Looks like the Aladdin chips. What I can gather here. Okay, so it's put this way. The pogos go right here. That goes over there. Where does this go? It goes to the solder point. Which one exactly? Is there a solder point over there? I actually prefer the soldered variant. It's a little easier, but fine. Okay, so there, over there. So there is no... Oh yeah, okay, so if I put it right, it's that one, and I think that's the solder point you need to solder by hand, which is a pain in the ass. It's a small via. I can zoom in so you can see it, if you can see it even. I'm not really sure you can actually. Okay, so let's zoom in. Let's fixed exposure. Okay, so these pogo pins go like this. Go over this connector over here. This is just a grounding ring. And this goes like this. and this one over here goes to that small wire right there. And you have to solder wire on the Aladdin chips from the chip to here, and they're quite a pain in the ass to do. So these, okay, I heard that's a crack. Did I short something? No. Plastic? Yeah, there was plastic crack. And this has a jumper. No, too bad I don't have information on the actual chip, because if I knew what these jumpers do, yeah, what they do, maybe you can reset the chip. Okay, so I'll put the DVD drive in and HDD and try it out again. See without the chip if it actually boots. Hopefully. And if it does, we'll figure out the chip later and check that out. So let me zoom out again. There we go. Okay, so we have the machine. Okay, so I would never recommend you to touch here or put it, actually turn it on with cover off. If you know what you're doing, it's not dangerous. It's just a little risky. It's fine. So can I connect everything without actually putting everything in place? Okay, so ID cable. Power cable before SATA was invented, I guess, or they just wanted to make it proprietary so no one else can make one. Can also be the case. Let's put this back where it goes. Shielding in the way. Okay, and the hard drive, I don't really know if it's necessary or not to start. Let's try with it on. There we go. The right way up? Yeah, it is. I really like SATA. Not that many pins to align. Power. Okay, so I can actually just put it in its place again, I guess. Okay, and let's plug in the power and the video cable. It actually gives an error if you don't have the video cable in. Let's see, sorry for the bad view. Okay, power. Could be that they modded the firmware or the BIOS on this as well, and it won't work without the mod chip. That could be the case. There are a few fixes for that as well, but we'll explore those if it's necessary. Okay, so video cable is over here. So this is the worst case scenario if you buy an Xbox. You don't know what they did to it. It doesn't show a picture or doesn't boot. I know this one boots, but I don't know how far it gets in the boot process, because the button clicks don't sound like my own. It has like a swishing sound instead of a clicking sound, so could be a old what's it called? Yeah, the desktop installed on this. So I don't know really. Okay, so let's see that the capture card is on. It is. Let's turn it back off. Upscaler on. Should have it on the screen now. Okay. I'm a little concerned this won't work and this will suck really hard. If this doesn't work, we'll have to find another way around this. Probably just reformatting this drive. It is an ID drive. I have an ID drive connector somewhere for flashing Xbox 360s. So should work. Okay, let's see. I turned it on. Any picture? Don't hear anything. I don't see anything. The drive is spinning. Unfortunately, no picture. It could be the scaler that's not set up correctly. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Huh. That sucks a little bit. So it seems like the chip doesn't matter. So could be display issue. Don't think so. Because it makes noise. It's not a boot issue either. Or at least not the startup animation sequence. So you should be able to see that. So I probably need to reflash the BIOS or empty the HDD. How can I do that without seeing what I need to see on the screen? I could try starting Hexen, but without a mod chip it won't start. So I have to do some digging first and see what this is and if there is a manual for this. And if there is, maybe I can force it to start the DVD and do it blindly. I just copied over the movements from my own drive. Could also be that these are not really connecting well. They are pogo pins. They do spring in. Yeah, okay. Let's do that. Be back in a while. I don't see any markings on this. Okay, so I found an interesting post here. And what's this mod chip? I recognize the chip on the picture. Not this one, but this one. So it's the same one. And some people in the comments are saying it's a matrix mod chip. Solderless. You can just unscrew it. Yeah, of course I did that. And I do have a link for mod chip manuals. Let's see if I can show you. I'll put the link in the description. Okay, no, they have the manual over here. Exodus Matrix mod chip. Programmer manual and the manual. Let's see if the links are still available. Seems so. That looks really nice. Okay, so what are the dip switches for? Let's see. Attachment point. do they really have to? D0 pickup. Yeah, okay, yeah, so it's the special small wire you have to solder otherwise. Programmer port. I do have a programmer, so just in case if I need to reprogram it, I can. LPC bus pickup. Custom made, gold plated. Pogo pins. Does the Xbox start without a hard drive? I don't know. I'll test that later actually. Because it needs to store the bad information somewhere. So let's see, dip switches. Okay, so we need to first confirm what type of board do we have. If we have a 1.6 or 1.0, 2, 3. I think the 1.1s never got sold in Europe, so okay, that's good to know. I'll check that later. It has 3 small holes to actually see 3 small vias to see it's in the right position, because the pin hole is so small. Mode selection. Okay, so the dip switches. Here we go. The Matrix has 4 user modes and 1 programming mode. Let's see. The programming mode is automatically entered when using Matrix is attached to a supplied programmer device. Oh, so it's a Custom programmer. Oof, that's going to make it harder. I could rig up something with an Arduino or something if I get the schematics for their programmer. Okay, so let's see. Mode 1, dip switch 1 and 2 on. We have, let's see, number 1 is on and number 2 is on off. So we have on and off, mode 3. Okay. Okay, so I'm not getting that behavior, so it wasn't correctly installed, I'm guessing. So let's see, am I seeing this correctly? On and off, yeah. 1 and 2, yep. So 1 and 2 on, red and green flashing. Okay. Test disabled. This mode is primarily used to align the matrix during the installation. It may also be useful to disable the matrix while in circuits. Okay, so it's to turn it off, pretty much. That's confusing because you turn both on, but fine. Okay, dip switches off and on. Okay, so red is green, always on. This mode enables the matrix to take over the original BIOS at all times. Okay, so I can force it to take the built-in thing. Okay. And then mode 3, that's what it's on. Let's see how this works. I've never gotten the ring to get red on this. So green means matrix. Okay, fine. On every power up, the matrix BIOS is loaded, indicated by the green LED. To switch to the original BIOS, the user must load a game and then press eject at the time. Let's see. Eject, and at the time the LED will turn red, indicating that the original BIOS is activated. To switch back to the user may either turn off the console or repeat above. Okay. Mode 4, off and off. Orange flashing, right enabled. In this mode, the matrix is always active, but has the ability to be flashed, updated via the DVD-ROM. We do not recommend you leave this mode on. Okay. Okay, so essentially, this is not working as intended. It's never gone red, even if I open the tray with a game inside. It just green all the time. So let's try to change the pin layout. See if it goes the correct colors. So let's see here. Off and then on. Always on. So this will make the matrix, okay, it just leaves it green, so it's kind of hard to see. Red or green flashing. Test and disable. Okay. Let's just try to reattach it with and reposition it. Maybe it just jarred out of place because it's just one screw holding it. Okay, let's try that. Be back in a flash. So I've screwed it back on. I checked the positioning with the small hole included holes, just like the manual said. Let's zoom in a bit. There we go. And then that looks about right. Okay. So this is still springing up. The screw is too long, that's why it goes through the case underneath. Stupid design, according to me at least. Uh, it's good because you don't need to be able to solder to do this. So I guess that's a win. Okay, so let's test this out. I'll probably need to reconnect the drive. Don't know if I need a hard drive, but let's try it out. So this should let me select via just ignoring or just clicking again. Okay, there it is. I'll put in the video. Power. Okay, I got it down. Okay, there it is. And I got it down. Okay, it's Midtown Madness for Xbox. I don't have original games for the Xbox, I think. I haven't seen one yet. Doesn't give an error for the hard drive. Maybe it does on screen, but I can see it. Okay, so let's turn it off. Start it with game in and then eject. There we go, I'm ejecting. I don't see a red flashing light like it said on the... Okay, so let's try that again. Open, eject immediately. Nothing. Okay, so let's... Okay, so start. We wait a while. CD is trying to start. Or DVD. Let's eject it now. No red flashing light yet. I don't think the mod chip is actually doing what it's supposed to. I'll connect the... Oh yeah, now it's the red blinking light. So now it should be on the normal. But I'm not getting a picture either way. No hard drive, so the settings are not saved on the hard drive. Could I get into Hexen? Okay, so let's turn this off, because it never did this before with the red blinking light, so that means the mod chip is actually working. Hexen lets me switch modes. I've recorded myself doing it on my original Xbox, or my other Xbox. So let's open this. Let's see if we can read. It's a DVD RW, sorry. It would be easier to see something, obviously. Okay, so it's red blinking. Maybe that's the hard drive missing. Who knows? Let's try it without this. Let's see. I could always switch it to always on, like it said on the manual. That's a possibility. Okay, so let's plug in the hard drive. Could be that it's looking for some files, I guess. But I am a bit confused of why you would flash your BIOS if you have a mod chip. You don't need to do that. Of course, it gives more functionality, obviously. So let's put this down. Cable on top. Let's try this again. I hear the hard drive booting up. The DVD is struggling. Could be that the disk type I've chosen doesn't work on this machine. Okay, so it sounds like it's on. I don't see a red flashing light. Okay, so I have the controller plugged in. Let's try this blind. So one down, A, wait a little while, down 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then A again, wait a second for a pop-up to appear, and then press A, and A once more. This should change it to Paul, hopefully, and then we need to reboot the machine. So let's turn it off. Please turn on again. Come on, video. No, nothing. Damn it. It's not turning on the Hexen software. So I'll change the dip switches on the mod chip. Just have it always on. See if that helps. But it seems that it's not loading the disk. Could be that the drive is broken, obviously. Can't remember if these drives are paired with serial numbers or if they're not. I'll have to check that first. Okay, be back in a second after I try a few things and I'll update you on what I did. So I can't really get it to do what I want. It doesn't really start or anything. The power is on, so I'm going to be careful. I'm using some IPA on a cotton swab. Spraying outside the board. I'm just cleaning up here. It does have some dirt, so could be a bad contact, could be everything. And of course the vias, because it's using one of them to connect D0. Yeah, it's not very clean, so let's fix this as well. This is the ground after all, so yeah, it was dirty. Let's spray the other side and clean the actual mini board. So I'm guessing one of the pogos may be dirty or something. So it seems that it made some kind of BIOS or flashed the BIOS or something with something that shouldn't be there. That's why it's not displaying. Could be the graphics card, obviously, but it usually gives an error if it doesn't detect the graphics card. Okay, so that looks good. Let's just clean off a little flux they left behind. And then the ground plane. Okay, this one was pretty dirty as well. Let's see if this works. I'm going to use the shim again. I found a shorter screw I'm going to be using, so I don't screw right through the case. I'll have to abstract your view for a little while because I have to line up the holes. Nope, that's way too far off. See all 3 holes? Time to tighten it down. So the behavior I'm looking for is if I eject the disk, it should flash red, and it's not. It's flashing green a little while reading the disk, so that's not correct actually. And hopefully that's the only issue here, so I can actually get into the what's it called, the Hexen disk, and reset the video settings. Hopefully it is that and not the graphics card. Otherwise I'm out of options here. I'm trying to just balance the drive off camera here. Looks okay. Okay, so let's turn this on again, see if it fails spectacularly and burns up. The light is on the mod chip. That's a good sign. I hear the CD or the DVD drive. It has a really hard time reading that disc, but I know it works on my other Xbox. I tested it yesterday in preparation for this video, just in case if I need to reflash something. I was right, I'm guessing. Okay, what do we do now? Seems like it started the disk, so let's try the blind commands. Down, A, wait a little while, 1, 2, 3 down, A again, should wait a little while, get a prompt for yes or no, yes, and then A or B for NTSC or PAL. A is PAL, let's push A, wait a little while again, and then let's pray. Let's please have some picture. Let's turn it off. No, it should have already shown something. Oh, that sucks. And I don't get the red blinking light like I should. So I don't think the mod chip is actually working like it should. So I'll have to find an alternative way of flashing the BIOS, which sucks. Yeah, I can hear the normal menus now, the swiping kind. I have the headphones set up again. I'll try to get it to the mod chip now. Oh, it's showing red on the mod chip. Can you see the light over there? So that means the mod chip is on now. Is it making the other noise? No. So what does red mean? Mod chip enabled? Let's see if we can load the disk now. Or maybe mod chip disabled. Maybe they meant that red light and not the one on the case. Okay. No sound from the controller. That means the disk failed to read. But I do hear the sound effects of pushing out the disk. So red means mod chip is off. So if we do this, okay, let's see if it can turn green again. It turned red. If I eject the disk in the middle of loading, nothing happens. I don't think the chip is making contact like it should. Okay, so let's loosen it, move it a little bit. And then tighten it down again. I really do prefer the Aladdin chips. It's green again, okay. really hope it can read the hex on disk. Would make my day. This is taking forever to fix. Okay, so I hear the sounds again. No sound from the buttons. That means it failed to load the disk again. It makes a sound when you eject the disk. And now I hear the normal menu sounds. Okay, so if I remove the disk, turn it off for a few seconds. I got the strange clicking noises last time, so if maybe I have to force it on. And what was it? Off and on. Okay, let's try that directly after. Okay, so I'll turn it on. No game inside, just like it said on the manual. No, it goes to the normal menu now. Okay, so after a little digging around, I found out that the DVD drives are actually not married to the main boards, so you can swap them freely. So I'll disassemble my main Xbox, it's a 1.6, and take the drive from there and try that out. Maybe I can load Hexen and fix it finally. Hexen also has the ability to reflash. Even if I can't see what I'm doing, I can reflash the BIOS with a stock BIOS and hopefully get it working again. Otherwise, it is a hardware issue and it will be a pain in the ass to fix. I can, in worst case scenario, remove my mod chip from my original one or my own one and put it in this machine, and I know that one works because yeah, I used the other one. Okay, so I'm back. I disassembled my other Xbox. I actually have one more, but that's from the flea market. I don't know if that works. Here's the other drive. It's the exact same model number, TJM 600, and the year 2002 from September, and this is from January. So they are pretty much the same drive. So I'm hopeful this will work. At least to read the disk, because I actually need to be able to read that disk. Before I do that, I think I left the disk inside. So let me get it out first. Yeah, I did. Oversight. I'll show my mod chip in a little while as well. It's different from this one. It's the Aladdin mod chip. It's really easy to get, AliExpress. Okay, so let's go. Let's remove the ribbon and power. Put that to one side. I'll use it as a base to prop up the other one. It can be useful for something, I guess. There is a potentiometer on these, so you can set the power, laser power, so you can extend the life a little bit. So if we're lucky, we can get that working. Let's see. So I'm trying not to drop anything. So I'm using the other drive to prop up this one. Okay. So let's get the Hexen disk. This is the one. I'll open this one up. Do you have a disk inside? No, you don't. I haven't played it in a while. I do know this drive works. I tested the Hexen disk yesterday. Oh, it reads it immediately. Okay, that seems to be working. Let me put on my headphones. So it went into the normal menu, the one that comes built in. So that sucks a little bit. Let's turn it on with the disk inside. Let's see what happens. Okay, it still boots, so that's a nice indicator. It tries to read the disk directly. Okay, so it has the same background sound as the Hexen, but no, it's in that weird thing. Yeah, I know. So it's not reading the disk. So either the mod chip is not doing its job and letting me play burnt games, or the drive is not reading the disk now. I think the latter is more possible, that it's actually not just, it's just not doing its job. I have the mod chip to set always on, that's why I get the menu. I don't know exactly where I am. I don't know what application this is, or what, so if I open this, does it make a noise? It does not. I have a game as well, a burnt game. It should be able to take that one. Midtown Madness 3. I don't know if the game's good or not. I think I've tried it out on my other Xbox. Can't really remember. Haven't used a racing game for so long. Okay, so it does try to read it. It is spinning. Push the button here. Sound went away. Is it that way you start them? You put in the disk after it loads the BIOS and then start them with the A button. I don't see anything on the screen yet. I don't hear anything. I have my headphones on so I can hear it. Nothing yet. Could be the disk is broken, obviously. But that gives me some hope. Okay, so Hexen disk did load. It just can't start from it, I'm guessing. Okay, so let's turn off the console. Open the disk tray. Let it load into the BIOS. So I can hear the strange clicking sounds. No, I'm in the normal BIOS now. It's because I opened the tray. But wait, I have it set to always on, I'm guessing. Yeah, off then on then off. Yeah, off then on. So I should never turn off. This mod chip seems flaky. I'm going to desolder my other one from my other Xbox and try that. Let's see. No, now in the normal menu. So let's turn it off. Move this around a bit. Oof, that's stuck down. Let's see, where are my tweezers? So you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm pulling them both to the opposite sides. So on first, off second. This board is bending, the mod chip. So I don't really like that. No, I'm back to the normal menu again. Seems the mod chip is not doing its job again. So I'm going to try to unscrew it a little bit, then screw it back in again. This is a huge pain in the ass. Did it stop working completely? I guess I'll remove it. Because the drive is not working either way. So this is a failure. It's not working at all, or when it wants to. So you can reprogram this chip via this header. I'm going to see if my programmer is compatible. Online, check the programming guide. There was one on the page, and I'll update you when I have something new. Bye for now. This is part 1 of 2, I'm guessing. Thank you for watching until the end. I managed to actually fix this Xbox. Please watch part 2 for this. It has a really interesting fix and something useful for other people that want to fix similar problems. Bye for now.